Pulp MX Network production.
Bringing you a cheeky Brit and an American YouTube racing sensation weekly. It's the LVK More Than Moto podcast with your hosts, Phillips and Kellen Brauer.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Leatt LVK More Than Moto podcast. I am Kellen Brauer, joined by Phillips and special guest Steve Matthes on the show today. No Pulp MX show tonight. So we got to get Steve on to banter with us about moto and a lot of other topics in between that as well. We're going to have a whole banter section at the end of this podcast as per usual. But first off, Big Lou, good to see you again this week. I did not get the chance to see you this past weekend. How was your off weekend from racing?
Yes, hi, Kellen. It was great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great, man. Mountain air, fresh vibes. I'm refreshed and ready to go, as you guys were
it's
telling
understandable.
me.
You needed that break after 4 races in 9 weeks. Can be tough on you.
Yeah. Oh, It was tough. It was really tough. On the flip side, though, Steve, you get 2 weeks off in a row. So you're in the middle of like just the perfect zone right now. You got nothing going on for the next 2 weeks.
It's actually 3 weeks off for Steve.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I was super looking forward to this. First of all, I congratulate on this show, guys. Congratulations, it's going well. I was super looking forward to my weekend off, and then I went. So I had a little bit of a tweaked back from the bed at Indy, just a small tweak. So I did my normal bicycling routine, 2 days of mountain biking, then on Wednesday went road biking for 30 something miles, and when I got back, my back was jacked. So I was going to do the Gypsy Verb 500 thing. I guess it's just a Verb 500 thing now. I was going to ride some laps on that. That looked really fun at Mesquite. But dude, I've been on my back because of my back after I got back from Indy for 3 days. It's better now. It's still there. I've been doing hot tub, ice, the stuff you rub on your back, like all of it. So I actually had a really shitty last few days. I'm coming out of it now yesterday. Couldn't make the Gypsy Verb 500 thing. So I really didn't enjoy my weekend off. Yeah, I did not enjoy it. I was struggling. And so really sucks for me. But I have gone bicycling the last 2 days, and I can report that it's okay. We'll struggle through this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw that you went biking yesterday, so we're back, question mark?
It appears the bicycling is making the back come back.
Oh, no.
But not that bad. Anyways, yeah, so I did not really enjoy my weekend off. I didn't go to the Verb 500, which kind of bummed me out, because even then I just wanted to hang out and, guys, the Verb guys and Randy Richardson and guys that were up there, it seemed like a really good time, but couldn't do that. And yeah, not really enjoying life right now, but thanks for asking.
Well, I hope it gets better this week for you. And if you need your back fixed in a couple weeks' time when you come back to the races, maybe what we could do is get you on the back of Evan's bike, and he can dump the clutch and throw you off the back like Timmy did 20 whatever odd years ago, and fix your back for you there.
Great idea. Good to know. And I might take him up on that, little red dog helping me out. But yeah, man, it's really nice also to not have to host one of these dumb shows. So I'm just kind of the guest, like Lewis, not doing anything. I probably won't post on social. I won't promote it. So thanks, Kellen.
I promote it regularly. Probably I do 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off. Mm-hmm. I don't actually ever see Kellen tweet about this show.
Instagram all the time for Kellen, all the time.
Oh, yeah, I never do Instagram.
Yep.
If we could have an Instagram story that looks quite, you know what? I'll work on that. That'll be my little project.
Okay. Is this a subtle dig at my graphics? You don't like them?
No.
Okay.
No. Your graphic is fine, but the graphic you provide is not story size.
It's not, but because Steve was making posts about it, and then he went to stories only. So we
No. I do mostly stories, but every so often I'm going to make a post. I don't want to flood the feed with posts of shows, but I bounce around. My social media strategy is just that. It's a strategy.
I was laughing as soon as he said strategy.
Yeah. Midnight releases coming up at a theater near you. Okay, no, let's get into the show. There's a lot to unpack as we get back to racing this weekend in Birmingham. East-West Showdown coming up. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but we have to lead in with a little bit of breaking news. Sadly, we found out yesterday Michael Mosiman will be out for the remainder of Supercross. Dislocated elbow, broken radius, broken hand, broken fingers, had surgery, but surprisingly said that he hopes to be back for pro motocross. So first off, for you, Lewis, this is obviously a bummer to see Mosiman miss time because he's had a pretty good season going on, but I feel like pro motocross is a bit of a lofty goal for this injury, no?
Yeah, I watched his video with an eyebrow raised, and I don't believe for a second that he's making Fox Raceway. Nice to have goals, though. It's nice to be optimistic. Of course, he needs to in these difficult times. But if he makes Fox Raceway, then I will do something unspeakable. I don't know. But there's no way. It's impossible. If it was just a broken arm, it would be impossible, let alone elbow and whatever else is going on. It was a long list.
Yeah, maybe I'm not knowing something about like what they could do surgery-wise to fix this quickly, but it sounds like quite a few different pieces needed to be operated on, and that doesn't sound like a quick turnaround whatsoever. So cautiously optimistic for sure about that timeline to get back. But for you, Steve, this is just a bummer because I feel like Mosiman had really found a bit of an upward trend in his Supercross prowess again. He was close to winning a race earlier this year, and now we're back to kind of square zero with him, and we know that downward spiral has been bad for him in his career in the past. So what do you think about this injury and his ability to maybe come back from it in a few months' time?
I'll touch on that, but I'm surprised you don't do like a Leatt read off the top of the show.
Oh, we get
Kellen.
there. Don't worry.
Because just Leatt was mentioned and then no read.
This was a terrible idea.
They
I
are the
prefer
title
the
sponsor.
94
He's just
shows
going
we
to
did
critique
before
it
that.
all the way through, Lou.
Thank you, Leatt, for the mountain bike pedals I've been running. First of all, bummer for Mosiman. Second of all, bummer for Ty Masterpool, because I feel like this would have been a perfect Ty Masterpool slide into Mosiman's spot. Maybe Mosiman never gets his ride back. Wally pipped by Masterpool, but as we know, Masterpool's out too with some surgery. So both of those guys, both of the lead candidates of the I Don't Know Man segment, those two riders have been, and now they're both hurt.
How about the fact that Masterpool goes out with a shoulder injury, and the first time we see him, he's in a wheelchair? That is so masterful. That is so masterful. Like, hey, I'm out with a shoulder injury. Take a look at my wheelchair and my 2 casts on my ankles. Weird guy.
You're right, though. This would have been a good opportunity for Ty to fill in. Obviously, it sounded like things are trending towards him maybe racing a Star Yamaha Outdoors, but unlike PC and their potential fill-in with Drew Adams, no chance that anything happens here for Star, right? They're not going to fill this seat for the remainder of the last 4 rounds of West,
you
right?
can never say never with Bobby Reagan.
I guess, but like they're not going to get a fill-in. They would maybe just call somebody up, right? Like Menier, hey, race the last 4 rounds of West.
Yeah, I think Menier would be the most likely. I think he's closer than Gordon, right? Or no?
I would think so, but I mean, I thought that he was going to race East and then the injury from Houston, but then he still raced SMX next, so maybe their entire plan for him getting ready for Outdoors is different now.
Look, my number one takeaway from this Mosiman injury is does it completely screw any chance of him being re-signed for 27? Because he's third in the points, he's having a nice season, that will now be forgotten. Maybe he could have won a race in this second half, and then we know Star, if you win a race, a la Nate, you're back. I kind of feel like this could be the nail in the coffin contract-wise.
It could be, but I'm not too sure about that because it had trended in such a positive direction. And I feel like Bobby, with the way that he rode Outdoors last year, if he sees even a glimmer, he'll probably find a way to keep him. But what says you, Steve? I mean, Lou says he could have won a race at the end of this year.
There's just no way you can. There's just no way you can predict Bobby Reagan and Star. Like there's random things that you kind of know about different teams, and there's theories, and you can talk to the managers. Look, there's managers over there at Star that didn't even know the kid Dudney was turning pro, right? They none of this. It's chaotic. It's a mess. The whims of Bobby Reagan and Brad over there. So I can't say for sure what would happen. Looking from the outside, with the amount of amateurs they have, you would think Nate Thrasher and Mosiman's spots are up for grabs for sure. But dude, no idea. So I could sit here and say that, but yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, at this point, I think I re-sign Mosiman over Thrasher. considering outdoors, like you said, Kellen last year, that was really good. Supercross, small sample size, but Moserman much better than Thrasher. I think I take Moserman over Nate at this point.
Well, I think that's like an extension of this discussion, but I feel like Nate is thoroughly underperforming and already 2 feet almost out the door there. Like there's zero chance right now Bobby even knows he's under the rig, right? Like things are not going well. And in a contract year, there's probably no chance there's even talks about him coming back, right?
Do you want to know how bad it's gone? I don't even know what number Nate is. That's how bad. That's how much he's not on the radar. 40?
No,
42?
he's 25, which is the lowest
25.
number he's had in his career.
That's good for him. Happy for him. Good for him.
I mean,
deserves that.
He did come in off an off-season crash, right? His shoulder is what I'm hearing, and struggling to get back to that. Shoulder's getting tired. I did hear, though, the last race that he had his best week in a while, and then he continued to not perform. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know what Gordon and Menier and the other kid, like, are they turning pro? Are they staying amateur? Nobody knows.
I mean, I think that well, go ahead, Lou.
Kellen, you would know this. Who's the kiddie that was on a Cowie Super Mini that they took? Wood?
Yeah.
Would he be anywhere near going pro in the next year and a half?
No, it's
okay.
For sure they need to make room for 2027 for Dudney and Menier bottom line. And I feel like Gordon should be on that list as well. But maybe they just have a different idea about like keeping Gordon down another year to have him be fully ready for outdoors in 27. That seems ridiculous to me, but
yeah. So the Cowie guys, when Gordon went over there, the reason he went there was because it, according to them, it presented a quicker path to the pros than Kawasaki did. And then the Kawasaki guys, again, this is their side, were telling the Gordon family, be careful what you wish for over there, i.e. they're not going to coddle you or, sort of accept so-so finishes. But the reason he went, apparently, was because there was a more direct path to pros, or director, which is not a word. But
well, then that means that they have to have basically 3 seats that they were not prepared to have at the start of this year available for 2027, which means, does that put Max on the chopping block too, Lou?
Well, I don't like that line of questioning, Kellen. I think that's very negative for this podcast. We tend to keep it quite positive around here. No, Max has won a race. Therefore, Bobby
so has Pierce, and so has Paul Davies, and so has Deegan. So you have
the man lost an appendix. He's lost enough. You can't take his job away in his employment. Just because he's appendixless doesn't mean he's less of a man and less of a candidate.
Well, they have 4 race winners over there, and now 1 guy that's underperforming, 1 guy that's hurt, and 3 guys that need seats alongside those 4 race winners next year. So 7 bikes.
Well, they can put Max on a 450.
Steve, sure.
I mean, there's no telling over there. There's really no telling. Maybe Max does World Supercross only, and in a regional Supercross series only. That frees up a bike for the outdoors for one of these kids. God knows. Who knows what's going on over there.
Yeah, well, I guess...
In
go ahead.
Semi-related city season news, Hymas is going back to HRC, right? I heard that's like
sounds like it's trending that way,
yeah.
But I don't know that it's done.
He is going back to the Lawrence compound, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is going back there, yeah.
Like full-time, or?
I think so, yeah.
Oh. Okay. But yeah, no, at the start of the year, I thought it was very like Hymas is probably leaving. And now more and more I hear Hymas is staying, or they want him to stay, or one of those, one of the above.
I always just thought it was, hey, 50-50, might come back, might leave. We'll see how the year goes. And then, Seth Hammaker seems to be pretty happy with Kawasaki. A lot of us were connecting the dots there with being at the Lawrence compound, Hymas being up, Seth having maybe a better year than Chance. But maybe Seth has said, hey, I'm going to stay with Mitch Payton. And then Honda said, we are going to stay with Chance Hymas. You don't quite know how it works because different moves affect different guys, right? So I didn't hear the Hymas to Honda is trending that way, but I believe you guys. Yeah, sure, makes sense.
Well, I do
maybe
think
you're disconnected.
Oh, here we go.
It's possible.
I mean, if you look at the Seth situation, I mean, we're quite off topic from the Moserman thing at this point, but the Seth situation, if you're looking at him, why would you go to Honda? Because if he wins a title this year, there's no place to go. Or next year. Like, he's kind of stuck at that point. So maybe leave your options open for the second Cowie seat and or something different, right?
Sure. But a second Cowie seat, I feel like there's like 4 guys that have been like, I really want to get that second Cowie seat, So
but there's no second Honda seat, so you go
no,
over there.
No,
and
there
you
could
just,
be a third. No, there could be a third Honda seat. Lars has gone on record, exclusively to me, no other media outlets as he talked to, that they would add a third 450.
And look, they just did it in MXGP. They've now got a trio of 450s. And
I don't think that means anything at all.
Okay.
Anything at all.
Okay. But more importantly, one of you just said, like, there's a line of guys who want that second Cowie seat. Call a spade a spade. I'd imagine that line is getting shorter.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Come on.
It's a factory ride on a factory team. Very few of those are around. And yes, I'm with you. We all know why that line would get shorter, why you would say that. But, dude, these guys don't care. They always think, listen, I can fight through it. I'll change it. I'll be the difference maker. Bike can't be that bad as a factory spot. Sign me up for that money.
Okay, well, this actually leads into a good topic that I had later on in the show, and we'll table 250 Showdown discussion for a minute. But before we do that, I want to tell you guys, of course, about Leatt. Leatt Protection is in our brand DNA. It started 20 years ago with the groundbreaking Leatt neck brace and continues today with an extensive product offering of protective gear and riding apparel. But what Leatt really stands for is inspiring confidence and ensuring safety with every ride. Be sure to visit Leatt.com, people. Check out their 2026 line of gear and much more that they have to offer. Colt Nichols, Justin Hill, and more on the program for 2026, making Leatt look good and obviously supporting our show here. So this does lead into...
Lewis, do we get topics, or is it just the guy in the middle that gets the topics?
Well, you're going to be mad at this, but the show has evolved somewhat from the original format. It's more just now like it's a casual conversation. Everyone gets to jump in. Everyone gets a topic. If you've then the Hymus Hammaker thing wasn't planned.
Okay.
Like if you want to pivot to the British Championship and Tan Award, we can do that.
I do not. No.
Okay.
I do not want to pivot.
If you want to pivot to 2006, we can. Anything's possible.
I'm working on a list right now for magazine and website of Racer X on the greatest Honda HRC riders. So I have been deep diving into stats.
Okay. Is this exclusive to America?
Yes.
Okay. So no
Jeffrey's
hurlings.
not on the list, Lewis. Jeffrey's not on the list.
Yeah. By the way, Lewis, in the department of your fake news, you have been saying for a while that the USA bikes are going to take the graphic scheme of the MXGP bikes. What are we doing? You said it was going to happen real soon, and I don't get that sense.
So I spoke to someone at HRC who loves doing media, and they said to me, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Well, come on, don't count me out." And he said, "Yes, that was the original plan. That it was going to launch in Seattle, but we've been given a bit more freedom, so we're going to be going that way. But it's a little bit down the line in Supercross now.
We are getting near the end of Supercross.
I heard Philly, so
okay.
I will be proven right. And remember this moment in time.
Yeah, we'll mark it down.
So
everyone wants to look like Jeffrey after Argentina. Those graphic kits are going to be selling out. Get them while you can.
It's still not a good look, Lou. It's still not a good look.
It looked great when it was dominating. It's going to look great when it's a gold number 1. It's great.
Okay, man. Okay, so continue on from our discussion of Marchbanks in that second Cowie seat. I wanted to ask you guys this question. Who is most likely to still be riding for the same team they are on right now, 450 Supercross, by 2027? So at the start of Supercross next year, will Justin Cooper still be at Star?
I was going to say Jet. I was going to say, I didn't know you were giving us choices. I was going to say Jet.
Okay. Will Aaron
Really
Plessinger still be at KTM?
Show, doesn't he?
Will Malcolm Stewart still be at Husky? Or will Garrett Marchbanks still be at Cowie? Who's
give
the
the
most
last
likely to
names
still
again?
be? Cooper at Yamaha, J. Coop.
Yo, I know the
Plessinger at
teams.
KTM.
Just give us the last names.
Cooper, Plessinger, Stewart, Marchbanks.
Okay,
Who's most likely to still be on their exact same team by 2027? Steve's thinking, so I'll ask Lou first.
I was thinking too. I want to say, wait, what's the question? Least likely or most likely?
No, who is the most likely to still be on the same team?
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, most likely then I will go AP. I was close to saying Malcolm. Yeah, I know the Coonan thing could really throw a wrench into AB's contract, and we know that KTM like to string him along with 1 year. I think it's been 5 or 6 years of that now. And Malcolm, I feel, could also be impacted by the Coonan's arrival, because if they need to make space for AP and someone else, maybe they put AP on Husky. But, I still think that it will all shake out and AP will remain at KTM. For whatever reason, I feel like AP is very important to KTM from a marketing perspective. I feel like they like the fact that he makes KTM look fun and lighthearted. I mean, Eli does a great job of that, of course. But AP maybe... AP maybe slightly more so.
All right. Steve?
What do you say, Kellen?
I feel like the most likely one is Malcolm, because I just don't know that I see a lot of shuffling necessarily at Husky for any particular reason, them going after some other superstar or anything like that. I think they're waiting for the next big free agent window to take a big splash. But I feel like AP, with the situation with the Coonans, like Lewis mentioned, could be a bit on the short end. I think J-Coop is maybe already looking at other options out. And Marchbanks might be on a PC Cowie by next year. So to me, I think Malcolm's the most likely.
I was going to say AP and Malcolm were tied. So I guess I'll cover both of your answers. I'm exactly with Lewis. Aaron's results go beyond his results just because of his following and the way he is. Malcolm is a sturdy guy to have over there. Now, someone that I know that I trust deep in Malcolm's camp mentioned to me that this would be his last season of outdoors. Or could be, let's say. It could be, it will be, something along that lines. This was mentioned to me before Supercross. So, if that's the case, do the KTM group, they wouldn't just have RJ, they wouldn't just do Malcolm and RJ in Supercross. Maybe there's a Coonan going over there for motocross. I don't know. But that makes me think that maybe I'll go with AP a little bit, but that's what I did here.
Okay. Lewis, let me ask you a question about the Coonans. I don't know, maybe you don't know the inner workings too much of their accelerators deal, but is Red Bull tied to that in any way, or is it specifically just Austrian manufacturer? Like, could Husky be a no-go because of that energy drink conflict?
No, KTM can pull the strings. I mean, their Red Bull deal, I believe, is Red Bull Belgium, so it's not even Red Bull global branch or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I mean, they are coming, it seems, and I don't know what the accelerators are. I need to find that out. I actually gave that task to Adam Wheeler, so we'll see what he comes up with. Young beat reporter Adam has been given his first assignment. I think it's quite easy though. Like, every conversation I've had is KTM saying we need to make room for the Coonans in America.
Okay.
But equally, kind of a tangent to this, I would like to see Husky do something spectacular. They've kind of just had the same lineup for however many years. You never really hear Husky involved in like silly season rumors and they're going after this guy or this guy's talking to Husky. I would like to see some sort of splash or some sort of something that makes Husky matter, I guess, a little bit more in all of these discussions.
Well, they shouldn't have let Ferris go. That's step one.
It's working great. Do you think that is because KTM as a group views KTM as kind of the marquee in a way still, and so they put Husky at the back burner for that?
Well, I think we've actually covered this a lot on this show. It's very different, it seems. In America, the hierarchy going back to when Gas was very much KTM, Husky, Gas. Whereas in Europe, going back to when Prado was there on a Gas, it's much more consistent across the different colours. I think for sure in America, KTM takes priority or whatever else. I mean, Roger is the pit buyer or whatever else of America. How often do you see him hanging out at a Husky tent?
True. But I mean, to your point about the Prado thing, could that not just have been circumstantial in a way? The Wolf winning a title circumstantial because of the teams that they get associated with? Because look, I'm saying if you think about here, I'm sure that in reality, KTM wished that Anderson was on orange when he won in 2018. I don't think that they're like, yeah, Husky making it awesome, but it's the way it worked because he was elite that year. And maybe that's the way it works because DeCarli gets gas and Prado's already there.
No, because when Austria gave DeCarli gas and Prado was in contract, they could have quite easily moved him over. Like, they knew what they were getting themselves into, especially as that was the year after Crowley retired. So that would have been the time to stack the KTM decks if you were really concerned about KTM winning. And you can even, what's proof of that is Husky and Gas really just shit all over KTM in GPs for a few years. And if they cared and that was a real problem, they would have reacted to that and moved some stuff around. You know, there was talk of Nastan maybe going KTM, and that didn't happen, which I think is telling.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did move Simon to KTM. You know, like, hey guy, here's KTM now. You won.
That was yeah, but that was because what won? Last year he moved to KTM because Gas stopped, and then this year he moved across to the other KTM team, but that was his choice. He didn't want to be a part of the Coonan show and all of that malarkey. So,
Malarkey. Okay.
Malarkey. Yep.
Reacting to what Lewis said about Husky trying to make a splash, though, Steve, what could they realistically do? Like, what is the path for Husky to find someone like an Anderson again to go win a title for them? Like, do they have to make a big free agent splash, or is it simply trying to groom a Bennett or a Di Francesco or something to be a 450 caliber guy within the next handful of years?
Yeah, I think you can't look at Anderson winning that title as really an indication of anything because it was a Bobby Hewitt-owned team back then, right? And they were, basically not controlled by KTM other than bikes and parts and support and all of that. So I'm absolutely with Lewis in the fact that I think they are treated as a second-tier team. I wouldn't be surprised if the wages are a little lower than, per se, of those guys, even though realistically, couldn't you say Malcolm and AP of kind of the same rider? One's maybe AP's got a little better results because he's raced more outdoors, but I would bet that Malcolm's probably at a little less salary. I would bet Nathan Ramsey makes a little less salary than Ian Harrison and so on down the line. But I would think just, signing another guy. But to me, RJ Hampshire is there. Let's not forget. He's full-time 450 guy. Malcolm's a great, much like AP, Malcolm is more than his results. And so I would think that what they're doing is working really well. I would keep that same lineup. I don't know if they could, like Jacob's available, right? But I mean, would you rather have a homegrown guy like RJ, won titles for you, is really rooted there, over Jacob? You could probably make a case Jacob's a little better, but no, to me, no, just because of the deep roots and the RJ's been there for a long time. And then Malcolm, of course, I think he outshines Jacob, not with results, but with the whole package put together. So no, I think you keep it rolling as it is.
I don't feel like we necessarily get much of Malcolm's not personality, but I don't think it's really used. Malcolm's persona and energy and everything, like the AP cowboy hats and all of that stuff. I feel like KTM lean way more into AP's image than anyone a Husky does with Malcolm, right?
But more so this year, Malcolm's definitely been getting the whole fishing thing and the Bass Pro Shops and FXR gear collabs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you're right. It's not from, but that's what I'm saying. That's not from the manufacturer that he's on. I'm saying that we're getting more of that personality drawn out from his other relationships that he has. So I think that's where Steve goes back to. There's more than meets the eye with Malcolm because he has those outside relationships that helps Husky kind of stay at the forefront from that.
It does kind of get to a point where. So I like Malcolm too, if we're playing that game. It does kind of get to the point where you ask, like when you start to dig into this hole, you wonder, what is the point of Husky even being a team? Like, in my mind, just make it KTM's feeder team, satellite team, 1B team, whatever else.
I feel like I should know this, and maybe I shouldn't admit this publicly, but they're not selling gases anymore. Is that true, right? Motocross bikes? Do we know if there are 2026 gas bikes available? And on that side, do we know if the 2026 Husqvarnas are any different? Anything else? I guess KTM's aren't either. They obviously have their financial issues going on at the headquarters there with bikes. But I feel like I don't see gases for sale anywhere. Kellen, are you looking this up?
I'm trying to look it up, but not.
I forget
finding anything just yet.
I seem to remember them saying they're not going to race professional, but they are still going to be the budget. No, that was it. Gas is still being sold, but it's not going to be changing for the next 5 years because the idea is with each year that passes, it can get cheaper and it becomes more of the budget, more accessible brand. That was how it was explained to me.
And then I heard Husqvarna was going to go off-road. Husqvarna was going to do off-road stuff more than Moto?
I think that was an outdated rumor. That was like 24 sort of time. And I think that was a genuine consideration. And no, in fact, from the way it was explained to me, that was all the way down the road to the point where they were in a boardroom doing their final sign-offs on this. And Stefan Piera was like, wait, no, I don't want to do this. And it kind of all got U-turned at the last moment. But of course, he's not really around anymore.
there are 2026 Husqvarnas for sale.
They're also 2026 gas at two of my local dealers, and it looks like about 35 to 40 dealers across the U.S. are selling 2026 models. So
Okay, so there are still Husqvarna and gas, although much like KTM, they're probably the same bike. So I think we need to see what they're going to do going forward with their bikes, because I agree it's oversaturated. If they want to have a budget bike, like Lewis said, I remember Gas had silver rims and a little less handlebars and things like that to bring it down cheaper than the KTMs, but it needs to be a lot more. It needs to be clearly defined that these are a cheaper alternative to get into dirt bikes than what they are now.
Ian told me in Indy that the American side will be on an all-new generation KTM next year, and Adamo's already on that chassis and GPs and all of that.
The Works Edition or whatever, their factory edition will be here. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it is just going to be production's going to be all new or what, because it was meant to be this year, wasn't it? And it was delayed for the financial stuff.
Yeah, but based on how they did it before, they get the factory editions the year, and then the next year they come out as production. Is how they've done it before. So, going back to all of this, they do have the Koonins coming. Look, and I would imagine they want to give Beaumer another shot. I don't know if his contract's up or not. And AP Tomac looks like he ain't leaving. He's like Leo in Wolf of Wall Street. He's not leaving.
But how about this though? Does it not concern you that there's a new KTM? Because I think if there's one thing that would make Eli leave, it's the fact of like, hey, this bike that you love isn't going to be here next year.
Well, yeah, and also. Well, and to the point of Eli, how late do they wait for him to make a decision on 2027? Like, are they going to wait till December for him to put that clause into effect? Yeah. So at some point, they're going to kind of be like, hey, man, make a decision. And if he hasn't been able to ride the bike yet, maybe he doesn't.
Maybe here's the bike, ride it, tell us what you think. And in the post-coital glow of his season, he just is like, yeah, I love it. It's great. And let's sign it up and do it again, right? So
Ian did say to me...
Sorry.
I never thought about this, but now you've said that, it makes sense. Ian did say to me, new bike next year, and we're already working on it or something. And I wonder if that is like we're already working on it, trying to get Eli it as quickly as possible so he can make a decision.
Yeah.
That's probably Mo riding it or something like that already too, so I would assume. Okay, so quickly back to the original question before we move on, though. You guys seem to believe that Malcolm and AP probably most likely to both stay there. Between J. Coop and Marchbanks, who's the most likely not to stay with their current programs?
J. Coop.
Okay. Lou?
I would say Marchbanks, but I almost feel like in Cowie's turbulent times, they will lean on stability. I mean, I don't think also Marchbanks is hitting his accelerators, is he? So
back to Koonins. We all know, Lou, Jeffrey's going to win this MXGP title. So would Lucas go to 250 Supercross?
No, I don't think he wants to. I mean, he was doing...
I know he doesn't want to. I know, but... Okay.
You're going to hate this, but has Prado not proven that it's not necessarily needed?
Yeah, pretty good.
So I would think that...
But also, Prado, how many Supercrosses? 7 or 8? 10? Does he have under his belt before this year?
12. Oh, before this year.
12? Before this year was 6.
7.
6.
7,
okay,
yeah.
6, 7. So that helps. But, okay, so Sasha, 250, Luca, 450. So then we would have...
There isn't a Luca. Luca does not exist.
Whatever, man. The old one.
They're twins.
Yeah, but wasn't he before? Wasn't he older? Wasn't that what the joke was?
I don't know. I don't have the birth times.
Yeah, that was the joke for a while with us.
I don't know. All I know, I don't know. Apparently, the umbilical cord strangled Sasha. That's all I know. But I wasn't there. So I feel like that's already quite big information for you.
Oh my God, this LVK show. So. Lucas, are they going to have 4 450s? Is that a possibility? Think about that. 4 450 guys under their tent like that. When's the last time outside of factory Honda in '85 that we saw 4 450 Supercross guys under the same tent?
Well,
doesn't that seem like a lot?
Well, similar to that, though, if we're looking at the way that they view Husky, would they not kind of look at this as an across the board of like, we have 5 450s available, and if we have to have 4 under KTM, take one away from Husky? And then some RJ or Malcolm don't have a ride?
I don't think so. I think those guys stay there. I really do. I mean, RJ has a deal. No, RJ has a deal. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Is, okay, so then you eliminate Malcolm from that, and then there's only 5 450s under the KTM umbrella. The same way it is right now.
My kind of go-to is thinking that they would just put someone at Husky like AP. That would make sense to me. I don't think they put Prado at Husky, although Prado is on a 1-year contract, so he could technically be moved if he needs to be. But hasn't it kind of gone in the direction of KTM are like, yeah, we don't really want to have 250s here anyway, under the factory 10?
I feel like that's changed over the years to we don't want 250s to we need 250s. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like that's changed a little bit from initially. But honestly, it's like everything in our sport. The goalposts move, right? Tom was over here, and he's a 250 rider, so we like 250s now. And then Tom's gone, and now we got Beaumer, who's hurt. We don't need 250s. Like, you always got to take this stuff with a grain of salt, I feel like, and because it's all circumstantial on what's going on with the team at the moment, right? They still need to sell 250s, the KTM 250s, right? And nothing sells like winning. So I don't know about that, but I just see 4 450s and then Beaumer. I just like, wow, that would be a lot for everybody to handle. But yeah, then shuffle them off to Husqvarna. Or
well, if there's
whatever.
4 450s, there's 2 250s as well, because Sasha would be alongside Beaumer.
Right.
So.
Right.
Well, also, elephant in the room, we're talking about AP and Malcolm in this context, but neither one of them has killed it this year. So that if there is a point where they're going to be like, we need room, neither AP or Malcolm have necessarily made a great case for them to stay.
I just don't see them getting rid of either one, though. I really don't. For all the reasons we just talked about, I don't see it. Oh, there's Doug. Hey, Doug.
I think Malcolm is more disposable
Say hi to
than
Doug.
AP.
Say hi to Doug.
I'm not saying hi to Doug, but he does look nice.
He does look nice. What a
Like
weird-
he looks like a nice cat. He's not like clawing Steve in the face.
No, he's a
for
foster
rescue
cat.
Yeah.
He's a foster cat.
What's his background? What's his story?
He's gone in for 2 or 3 surgeries due to eating things like rubber mats and
So he's an
plastic
idiot.
bags and stuff. Yeah, he's not that smart, but we're housing him while he recovers from his latest surgery of eating a gym mat and almost dying.
How do you do that? I don't think that's possible, is it?
What?
Eating a gym mat? Like
I think you take a little bit of gym mat and you eat a little bit of gym mat every day.
Well,
and they're
if there's no Pulp MX show in the coming weeks, we know that Doug ate the equipment.
Yep.
So watch out for that.
Yeah, we've honestly, since we've had him though, he hasn't eaten a thing like as far as anything weird. It
just takes one night, Steve.
Yep.
And
we know.
you got no more cables connected to anything.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's move on from this topic, though. I want to tell you guys about Partzilla. Partzilla.com is the premier OEM parts dealer and distributor. They sell OEM parts for Honda, Kawasaki, Polaris, Can-Am, Suzuki, Arctic Cat, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo, and Yamaha motorcycles, ATVs, PWCs, and snowmobiles. Visit Partzilla.com to see their extensive line of parts and accessories. And if you want to see their extensive team underneath the Rocket Partzilla race team, coming up this weekend, of course, Mitchell Harrison's still grinding out there week after week. We got Hamden Hudson, Jack Chambers, Liam Alov.
And
is Cade
Cade
back?
Clayson. Cade makes his return this weekend.
Oh, man. I saw him grinding a club. I didn't know we were back, though. That's good. Steve, do you want to say anything about Liam?
Yeah, Kellen, you're an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kellen, because you know what you did.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I asked Steve if he has any comment on Joe Alof's kid being better than Timmy's kid right from the get-go. No comment.
Oh, and now he's just silent.
No,
Mm-hmm. He's back.
Yeah, we wanted your reaction to that, Lewis, because I understand, Lewis, when you express frustration over Kellen on this show, because I got it myself right in the group text. Yeah.
Sad.
Kellen just wants to watch the world burn, and it's sad that he has that attitude. But this is what we've tried to warn people of. Video games warp your mind. And look what it's done to Kellen.
Okay, no hate comms, but was Liam hurt? What was going on with Liam? Okay.
Yeah, he crashed in December, Lou?
Okay.
Or something like that.
Maybe even later than that, to be honest.
Because I think that the game plan was to not have to sign Cloud. I don't think they were trying to
No,
like
no,
court
because
him.
Clout was going to do
Because
West
Clout
originally.
was going to do
Yeah,
West.
no,
That's what I'm saying. Not
Clout
have
was-
Clout for
okay.
East though.
All right.
Clout would have been
That
West,
was
and then they would have
but Clout was
Liam.
East because of visa stuff.
Right, but I'm saying not have Clout for East because they had Liam and Hamden and who am I forgetting? No, that's it. Liam and Hamden over there in East already. So
And our guy Julian there at Partzilla PRMX, he texted me last week. He is shaping up his 2027 plans. And I think with
That's quite
Harrison getting
exciting.
in main events, and maybe Liam, if he can keep making mains and stuff, like I think Julian has elevated his program to the point of where he's going to get some really good guys, good names, attracted to riding for his team.
quick question on Mitchell Harrison for both of you guys. He started the year with 4 20th place finishes in a row and then steadily has gone like 19, 17, 16, 16 or something like that. But he was in a lot of LCQs. Is he underperforming or is this Mitchell Harrison to a T?
Just injuries. We've had injuries. So he
But I'm
moved
saying
up.
like, should he be riding better? Should he be just making main straight up?
He's fine.
Or is this normal?
He's fine.
Okay. All right, cool.
Mitchell
all right, let's
Harrison
get in-
corner was riveting.
Yeah, riveting stuff. Let's get into East West Showdown discussion, and then we'll have banter coming up here in just a minute. All right, so here's what I wanted to do with both of you guys. We got the East West Showdown coming up. East meets West for the first time of 3 times that we'll see them this year, and I laid out a quote-unquote power rankings for what I believe should be the rule of order heading into this race, and I just want raw reactions from both of you guys. So chime in.
He's going to put Kalana Humphreys number 1, isn't he?
Oh,
Of course.
right at the top of my heart, Kalana Humphrey.
Other gamers.
Okay. So number 1, right at the top, Hayden Deegan. Any qualms with that?
No.
No, good job,
Luke?
Kellen. You really
All right,
killed
cool,
it on that
we're
one.
good.
Yep.
Proud of
2,
you.
Cole Davies.
Mm,
No qualms?
Is he
I'll take
tied for 2? Is he clear number 2?
I have him at 2. You tell me.
Well, I'm putting Levi number 2 in mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would put him in a tie with Levi. I would not put Levi ahead of Cole Davies after what we saw, and even Cole's speeds at the opening rounds have been good. But I would put him in a tie with the chef. Yes.
Interesting. Okay, because I had put Hammaker 3rd above Levi, but neither of
wow.
you would think that?
And now you see, Steve, why the YouTube
Yeah.
comments say, Lewis, stop being mean to Kellen. It's hard not
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, it is hard not to be. No, Seth would be after those guys for me.
Yep.
So Levi clear of Seth, like not even
Yeah.
in the tie that you're putting with
Not
Cole?
even
Okay,
a
all right.
conversation. Not even a
All
conversation.
right. Okay, goddamn. Well, I had Levi 4th, but you guys think he's higher. All right, so that seems to be the clear established top 4 then, right? Would we have Joe 5th? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's good. Well done.
Anstey 6th?
No.
Lou's really thinking about this one.
Well, no, I'm trying to remember. It's hard because I'm thinking of 2 coasts. Yes.
Oh, so then who does Steve put 6 above Max?
I'd imagine Pierce Brown, right?
Right?
Yes.
And then Max 7? Or someone else? Or are we dropping Max down the order?
I mean, Max sort of regained his mojo a little bit on the last round, right? A little bit.
And he has no appendix now, right? So we're
Yeah,
good there.
he's lighter. He's lighter.
He's not got a cough anymore. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, when you think about it, that little cough he had, which Lou was attributed to his appendix attack, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't get rid of it, and you saw him even on the podium. He was struggling a little bit. So, yeah, let's put him and Pierce in a tie.
Okay.
Got 1 race win, same bike, same team.
So then behind them, I have 8th as Cameron McAdoo.
It feels like a lifetime ago that we saw McAdoo race. Who else was in that top 5 group on West? Who would have
Well,
been?
it was Hymas, but then he got hurt, and then Ryder
and
D.
it was Mosman, yeah.
And most
Yeah.
of them too, yeah.
And Mosman.
Okay.
Would I
Half
put
pack,
McAdoo
Birmingham.
ahead of? Would I put
I want-
McAdoo ahead
I
of
want
Ryder
Ryder
D?
So Lou wants Ryder D above McAdoo. Steve,
Mhm.
you on the
Flip
fence?
a coin, man. Flip a coin.
All right. I think it's I think speed-wise, McAdoo has him cleared, but maybe Ryder D starts will help him.
Why did he starts have been shit?
They
ever
went
since
away.
they won.
They
starts went away.
started good and then went
Yeah.
bad, yes.
Which is weird because he's always been a good starter. Except for outdoors where he said his bike was slow. But that was a gas.
Okay. Well, if you guys have Ryder D and McAdoo on a fence, do you think Bennick is anywhere near this? Because I had Ryder D and Bennick on a fence.
No. That's
Really?
horrible to Ryder D.
Horrible. Bennick, this guy that's been floating in the top 5 the entire time in East so far. Horrible to compare him to Ryder D.
Yeah, well, flip a coin, man.
Oh, there we go, Lou.
Yeah, flip a coin. Bennick's been pretty good.
Flip a coin.
Okay. And then behind that, honorable mentions, the entire club team, Parker Ross. Like, does anybody else jump into this top 10 that we're not talking about?
Flip a coin.
Volan, hot take though.
Oh, here we go.
Has Volan been the best club rider?
Yeah?
Shock?
No, not Shock.
Simonson's right behind Shock in points.
Yeah, Shock has been a little, I hate to say it, underwhelming this year so far.
I would say Shock has been the disappointment of club rather than the best rider.
Volan
Yoda?
clearly the best club rider. Yeah. No, I'm just wondering. And then would you put the other 3 kind of in a flip a coin? Shock, Simonson, Yoder? Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Yoder is the 4th best.
Am I high or was Yoda?
I don't know about
was Yoda
that,
not battling with Voland like each week before
yeah,
we went on the
he was,
break?
but he was obviously he was dealing with the knee injury and still kind of is. So I think that's been hampering him.
But
Yeah,
he was
flip a
matching Voland. Okay, flip a coin. Good. Yep.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin. Volan's first.
So
and then the other 3, flip a coin.
is Volan top club rider this
Yes.
weekend though? Okay.
Yes. I think when you look at his experience, when you look at Volan's experience, his results compared to the other guys, even heat race wins and things like that, Volan clearly should be the least affected guy by this show.
Better question. Does a club guy not make the main event?
Yes.
Oh.
Dude, these
Which
things
one?
are deep, man.
Yeah,
these things
I know,
are deep.
but look-
There's 18 star riders. Like
All of those guys have been top 10 every single week, basically. So
I was
they would be
thinking
top
yes
10
as well.
in their heat races then.
Yeah, but you need to be top 9, Kellen. Are you familiar with the rules?
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
I think I say yes as well. I don't know who, but I can see it.
I don't know who. Yep.
Flip a coin.
I think that's a pretty.
I guess it would be Simonson because Yoder's starts are good. That'll help him immediately, even if he goes to the LCQ. Yoder's a really good starter. Volan is in. Yoder's a good starter. Shock is Shock. Maybe my guy Simonson. Maybe he in this first showdown is sort of a top 10 guy. Maybe
he
that's
just
the
hell
upshot.
shot the last race that we watched.
Yeah, man.
Almost.
Well.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think this 250 showdown is pretty much as status quo as we get it. I don't think that there's any
Let me ask you guys
variation,
this.
right?
Let me ask you this. If Deegs does not start top 3, and let's just say it's Kitch, Brown, Schmoda, whatever, Hammaker, Kitch, whatever, whoever, if the three of the top 5 guys are in front and Deegs does not top 3 or 4 start, does he still win? Like, does he have these guys covered enough to rip through them and win the race?
Look, I can already hear Deegan saying, I barely prepared for this. I'm focused on the 450. I've got a massive points lead. I didn't need to win. I'm just trying to get out of here safe. I can hear those words in my head already. So I feel like he would maybe lean on that. Yeah, if he gets a bad start, I think he would already be like, I've got built-in excuses. I'm just going to cruise here.
For me, I think the one person he can't catch if he starts like 4 places in front of him is Cole. I think everyone else he could walk through, and I think he will because I think he still is in kind of like championship attack mode, even though he doesn't need to be because he wants to wrap this thing up early so he can focus on the 450 for outdoors.
Okay, fair.
So,
do we think that Anstey makes it through Birmingham and finishes the race?
That's a you question, man. That's a you question.
Well,
You're
it's
the
more of
NC
a
winter.
universe question, Bike problems, injury. It's
By the
Birmingham's
way,
cursed.
If Weege was on this call, he would give Kellen a little point for that rant of the Deeg thing. That was really good. The statement he made. Weege
But
give
then he
him a
would
rant.
lose track of how many points he gave at the end.
Wait, did you make? I didn't even hear you rant.
Well, whatever, not rant, just
Oh,
statement.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's status quo 250 Showdown, but I think it should be fun to watch.
Okay, hold on. It's hard without preparing this, so I'm putting you guys on the spot. Who's the weirdo guy that makes the main? Like these things are stacked, right? You go through the line.
How about Steve hosting our show, Lewis?
There's always these guys that pop up that do it. Like, who's got heat race starts and speed? Like Yoder would be a prime example of PRMX Yoder, not Club Yoder. But there would be a guy, PRMX Yoder, to make a showdown like this.
I don't know that any of them really like jump
Gavin
off the
Towers?
page.
I was just thinking Gavin Towers.
I don't
But
like
I doubt
that
he's
one,
even racing, considering the last time we saw him, he was in a neck brace.
And the guys were going right around him on the outside.
So I'd be kind
if
of
he's
surprised.
there, Varese?
Yeah?
Yeah?
I mean, it will
Varese
come
can
from the
start.
West Coast. Because the West Coast heat will be easier, I think. Because we know that the lower top 10 is easier West versus East.
And a couple of injuries, including Moseman now, too.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got to look at West.
Good point. Bink for you, Lewis, on that.
I like how he's keeping score on the show now.
48 points in and we're doing scores now.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, I can. What a good person does, what a good friend does, is lift up their friends in times of accomplishments, and so that's what I'm doing.
Ross?
Yeah, but I feel like Parker Ross should be straight in anyway, right?
I don't think he's a weirdo guy.
Mumford?
I feel like should be straight in, and he
Mumford's
gets good
straight in.
starts.
Yeah.
Just give me an AEO guy.
Okay.
I'll take
Fair
one
enough.
of them.
Avery Long.
I'm not fussy.
Yep. Avery
Yeah,
Long
sure.
would count. Avery Long would count as a weirdo guy making this main for sure.
I'd imagine
Okay.
he'd have to go the long way round and through the LCQ, but hey.
Good one, Lou. Yeah, I think
Wow.
Steve might knock a point off for that, though. He's not a fan of
wow.
the puns.
No, I'm just trying to, improve the
Okay.
slow death of a show.
I think now would be.
What happens with Chase Sexton? Like
Here we
what
go.
happens? What happens? Like he's been gone for a few weeks. Chiz came to California. Chiz went to Florida. Tickle's in the mix. What happens?
Before I answer, can I ask Lou, percent health, banged upness?
He's
still?
fine. He's fine.
He went swimming on Monday last week.
Yeah,
He never posts on social media, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. Because but anyway, no, he
he's
won
fine.
Birmingham last year. So
That's
there's
what I
that.
want to say. I almost want to say, like,
I
Did he
don't
win?
think he can come back and win. I do not
Really?
think so.
Okay.
No. You can't miss
Do you
3
want a
weeks.
fun fact?
Okay.
This time last year, going into Birmingham. Actually, that's a lie. Okay, rejig my.
not very fun. This isn't very fun at all.
It's not a fun fact.
No.
Going into Birmingham last year, at this point in the year, he had 2 wins, but one of them came from a Triple Crown without winning a main event. So technically, he'd only seen a checkered flag once, a la this year. Therefore, this year is no different to last year, and you guys need to stop talking about it. Everything's fine. Let's move on.
Like, if he gets on the box, to me, that's like a mission accomplished. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
like great work. If he's out of the top 3, we are the dog drinking coffee in the fire.
No,
think-
not out of the
I
top
think-
3. Out of the top 5.
Yes.
Same thing, yes. 4th or 5th, I think we're like, yeah, he was a couple weeks off. He needs to get his feet wet again.
Ugh.
Yes.
But he was
I would
doing
agree
that when
with
he
that.
left top 5.
Exactly. So picking up where he left off is fine.
But we don't have any improvement. We don't have an improvement from a
Well,
7.
he hasn't been.
He hit the
hasn't
ground
been
at
like
100 miles
Rocky.
an hour, man.
He hasn't been like Rocky in the mountains training for Birmingham.
Yeah.
Just FYI. This
He's
isn't
been in
like
the swimming pool.
Yeah, he did go swimming. We know that.
Okay. Well,
Also, speaking of the top 5 thing, 2 of the last 4 races, he hasn't been in the top 5. So,
Right.
Yeah.
well, we can
Steve
at
wants
least say the
improvement.
low bar is top 5.
Yes.
The low bar.
anything
is
below
top
a top 5 is worthy of like,
Yes.
what is this?
Right.
Okay. let's get into some banter because we have a lot of fun topics to go over. Steve has got one very specific Airbnb topic that we're going to divulge into. But before we do that, I want to tell you guys about Alpinestars and the Tech Air MX. The Tech Air MX uses a sophisticated activation algorithm designed specifically for ruts, berms, jumps, and whoops, deploying instantly when it matters most. It's a fully autonomous airbag built into a compact chest protector, offering CE Level 1 protection on the chest and back, and when deployed, 4 times the back protection of passive armor alone. Be sure to visit alpinestars.com and check out the Tech Air MX. A lot of athletes seeking it as a means of use for them as under protection these days, even non-Alpinestars athletes.
And I think they're back in stock. By the way, they were sold out for a long time. I think they're back in stock. I've got one myself that I ride in, and love it.
Have you had any trouble getting canisters, Steve?
It's never gone off yet, knock on wood.
So no.
So I've looked into canisters. I have no idea the availability of canisters. I don't know anything about canisters.
All right, great.
It has not gone off yet.
Perfect. Lou, do we want to do banter with the tweets, or do we want to talk job swap? Where should we start?
It's your show. Do Steve's
job
thing.
swap. Job swap update. I want a job swap update because
we'll figure it out this weekend.
We missed the Monday that was coming after Indy.
There is no way you can get job swap in while he's, dancing, balancing dishes in a fire. There's just, you can't do it.
We'll figure it out after this weekend. It's fine.
It's not fine. It's not fine. It's not going to happen. And I'm just glad that other people know that swapping lives and jobs isn't always the easiest.
No, it's fine. And as I said to you in Indy when you gave that same speech, I'm trying to swap jobs with a millions of dollar salary athlete. You're trying to swap lives with a normal man. So slightly different.
A normal man who lives on 2 coasts.
Yeah.
A bi-coastal man.
So for you, Steve, live swap.
I like that.
April, right, was when it was supposed to happen, or is supposed to happen.
Deep discussions right now.
Trending?
Yep. Yes.
Trending positively?
Trending positive. Yes. Yes, absolutely. This is as positive as I have felt about it happening as the time that he showed up last year on a Monday to begin it, and we both agreed to cancel it an hour later. But this is as close as that.
So this was actually a discussion similar to the Monday debate that we had that found its way to Twitter. We had this discussion in the press box in Indy. So Steve isn't doing Birmingham, Detroit, or Nashville if life swap happens. Therefore, he's missing 4 of the next 5 weekends, or he's home 4 of the 5 weekends, including the weekend just gone. But he was very angry, saying that you cannot count the weekend just gone because everyone was home.
Yes, and you cannot count Detroit as
why?
I'll be at an area qualifier for Loretta Lynn's.
But you're
like, I'm not just lounging at home.
Yeah, but isn't that a Mesquite? So you get to sleep in your own bed?
No, it's at Glen Helen.
Oh, it is.
And also, the whole point was just weekends away from the races. Because remember, Kellen, we said to him as we left, you're doing 1 race in the next 5 weeks, you're basically retired. And he got very angry.
Race, specific.
And that is not for sure yet. So calm down. Let's reassess this in 5 weeks and see how many I actually missed.
Essentially, we are trying to put Steve's body in a casket and bury him, and he's still alive. Like, wait, let me out.
Okay. Also, as my lovely wife pointed out to me, I have gone to more Supercrosses than either one of you times 10. So perhaps we back it down a little bit.
There we go.
Do you want to know what I love about
back it down a little bit?
Legacy.
This means he's having this conversation off air. But okay, so if I have to dive in here and guess how this has gone, I'd imagine he said, I feel bad, I think I'm missing a lot of races coming up. And that was the justification. If I had to guess how this went down.
Or he's just ranting about us to his wife.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's it. Thank you, Kellen. Another bink for you. Another point.
Bink.
He's kind of ruined it now because, of course, at the end of his show, we had a trophy to present him as Podcaster of the Year, but now it feels a bit too manufactured, so I think we should retire that. Sad.
I'm going to give it to someone else.
Thank you to Leatt. Thank you to Alpinestars. Thank you to Partzilla for coming on board.
No, okay. But seriously, you are not going to Birmingham, and you just mentioned that it's not for sure that you're going to miss one of these other upcoming races. So to clarify for the fans at home, who are you disappointing? Are you going to disappoint your friend, Chris Kiefer, and not do an area qualifier? Or are you going to disappoint all the fans and not do live swap? Because that's two options.
Yep. Yeah. No, listen, I am between a rock and a hard place here, gentlemen. And no one said being the premier journalist in the sport was easy. And here I am, faced with dilemmas that mortal men, such as you two, cannot even comprehend.
That wasn't an answer to the question, though.
Thanks, though.
Good dance around the topic.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Is there not a single part of you?
Thank you to Leatt, Alpinestars, and Partzilla.
Is there not a single part of you at this point that's looking at Birmingham going, I wish I was going to the race this weekend? Has to be. Okay.
I think
he thought about it. He did think about it.
Birmingham's the worst round. Sorry, not sorry. Birmingham's the worst round of the series.
For sure.
You guys admit it. It's the worst round. The stadium kind of sucks. Press box is meh. It's a Timu MLS stadium. Showdown, yes, very exciting. Showdown is a draw. That's going to be really good. But the hotels aren't great. All of it. So, nope.
Well, you missed out last year. Me and Big Lou, we went and gotten smash burgers at Cheesecake Factory. It was a big Lou thing last year.
Oh yeah,
very excited about it.
Yeah, they just
Where did you
launched
find
it.
a Cheesecake Factory at?
It was like 15 minutes from the stadium.
No,
Yeah.
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got live swap, we got job swap updates. Lewis, should we dive into these tweets or these any of these jumping off the page to
What
you?
about my question? I got a question. Anonymous
I
question.
know.
Okay.
Are we going to get there, or are we going to do
All
the tweets?
Bink for me.
Whatever you think is going to be entertaining, Kellen. Choose something that's entertaining.
Well, let's do the thing that Steve brought up, which to me I thought was very much he is dealing with this situation, but we have come to learn that no, this is just the most random discussion. He said, if you're invited on a trip with 9 other people, 10 total, a $3,000 Airbnb is split equally into $300 per person. The week of the trip, 2 of the host's friends bail. Can the host come back to each person in the group and demand an extra $75 to cover the difference? Which feels oddly specific, Lou, but I mean, first off, you can take this as an answer to this question.
Yes, thank you for throwing it to me. Very simple. You have to give the people who bowed out have to pay their cut still, because they committed clearly, gave their full support of the situation, and then they've put everyone in this situation, so they need to pay their cut. Sorry, you didn't turn up, but you said you were going to, so now you need to pay the price. We can't be expected to clean that up. I don't know who this person is. Who's got 9 other friends? It's crazy. I can't even find 9 people.
This is a gentleman who used to race pro, very good rider, and now he is, going
so
to
this is a real situation.
This is a real situation.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. See, you said it was not.
No, it's anonymous. It's an anonymous question. I'm going to divide this into 3, in my opinion, this is 3 percentiles. 45% that the guys who backed out should pay their share. 45% that everyone else should buck up and pay the 2 guys who bailed share. And 10% chance that the guy who put the thing up should cover this. Like, there's no way. The guy who put this up, who booked this, should not be left holding the bag. The friends that stayed there or the 2 jerkies that bailed, someone needs to pay.
Could there be a nuance to it depending on why the people bailed? Like, what if the people bailed for medical emergency or something like that? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
This is
I don't think that matters.
LVK.
Yeah,
this is
I don't think it matters.
LVK.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The guy has a stroke. He's in the hospital. Sorry, man, I can't come.
If the guy died, I want to be in the room when his will is handed out and be like, hey, I'm just here to collect for $75. I don't care who it comes from, but just remember. If
the guy's in the hospital with a stroke, then that's the other side that everyone chips in and pays his share. Because, oh man, Bob had a stroke. We should pay his share. There's just no way that the original guy
recovers.
Can we know why, in any sort of anonymous fashion, why these 2 people bailed?
You want me to ask?
No, I thought maybe you knew.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, hold on.
Because I'm on the side of, they should probably just pay their share if they're bailing this late. But if it's a valid reason, then I could see why it would be like, no, someone else should pay.
Ask that. Okay, so
there's no way the guy who organised, who ultimately there's no like. It's not like he has a reason to be the organizer. Should be paying because why would that work that way? It's not a. If it's hey, I'm going to drag you to this thing I want to go to, then sure, maybe. But if it's like hey, we're all doing this together, then yeah, no.
Yeah,
no.
especially if like he.
No,
okay, go
this
ahead.
was a race at Mesquite, a Verb 500 race that they were doing.
So it's either Kiefer. No, it's not Kiefer because he's East Coast.
No.
It's Randy. That's not Randy.
It's not Randy. Randy would make a big production of this. He would make
This is
videos.
true. No way it's anonymous.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be the title sponsor of the show.
Can we get what the resolution is? Like, what did you guys do, or what?
I
I'm taking it that you're one of the bailers.
I am not. I am not. No.
Oh,
no.
But you didn't. You didn't
This
race.
is
Why
I
would
didn't
he be
race.
in an Airbnb?
Yeah. I would just go
I
back.
don't know.
I would just go home and back.
Okay. So
Next.
Okay. So
Okay, next.
all right, next. Let's get into the tweets that Lewis put out here. I don't know, Lewis. You were the one that asked for questions, and now you're wanting me to pick them. So I was trying to lean on you a little bit here.
You do you, Kellen. I think there was one thing I said. You do you, Kellen. You do you. And I'll jump. If I feel like you missed something, I'll jump in.
Okay. Because I haven't really looked through many of these, but I guess we could start just picking them out and come to a conclusion. I guess I'll lead off with this one. How many people is too many people at a group dinner reservation? I feel like any more than 6, you don't really talk to everyone, which we've experienced both of these sides of the coin the last month or so. So, yes, too many people and you don't really talk around the table that much.
How many people were at that dinner in Glendale?
I wasn't
Did
there.
you guys?
So.
You're thinking
Lewis,
Arlington, aren't you?
Arlington, there was.
No, Glendale. With
And-
my buddy
Glendale's-
Kurt that didn't pay.
Oh yeah, neither of us were there.
Oh, that's
No.
right. You guys
We
bailed.
weren't
Right.
there.
Okay.
Well, we've got the perfect situation of this is in Arlington there were 10, 11,
Yeah.
and I didn't talk to Kellen once the entire
Correct.
dinner because he was on the opposite side of the table. In Indy,
too many.
we had a 6, and it was perfect. It was for 95% of the evening. It was a group conversation amongst 6 people. So,
Yeah.
but also helped
Yep.
by a round table.
Yep.
In
Yes.
Arlington, we had a long rectangle. So maybe
Yeah.
it's not a matter of heads, but more a matter of shape.
Well, if it's 10 people at a round table, I feel like you're sat quite far away from some still.
Mhm.
Like the person directly across the table from you is pretty far if it's 10.
Yeah, I feel like 6 is a nice size. 6 on a round table. It's really, really good size.
Yep, and we'll have
Do you-
that this weekend, Kellen, when we replace Steve with Scotty.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's a good thing that Steve
No,
isn't
Scotty-
going because obviously.
Scotty can't make Birmingham.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's so sad. I
Well,
think there was 6 people at our dinner last year that we did here. Lou? Or 5?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
If you
All
want
right,
me
do
to
you
go
want me
through
to
my
keep going down
receipts and
this
make
list?
a spreadsheet, I can do that.
Do you want me to keep going down this list?
Yeah, just
Should I
find
name
some
the
stuff.
people who are saying this?
I don't know, Kellen. Just do.
Okay,
yeah,
man,
sure.
all right. Favorite airport to travel through and why?
I'm going to go off the fucking wall here. Qatar Airport is very
Oh,
nice.
here we go. Is it because there's BMW shuttles around the airport that take you to the track too, or what?
Qatar Airport is very nice, so that would be
I've
my
heard
pick.
that. I've heard Qatar Airport's unreal from a few people. So, whatever airport has direct walking to the rental car, that's my favorite airport because taking shuttle buses for rental cars blows. 2, I like Tampa. I like the little restaurants before you get to the gates, and then you shuttle to your gates. Now, shuttling isn't great, like I just mentioned, but the rental car place is there. Yeah, I might go
No, and-
Tampa. Tampa's
The thing that helps that is I'm fine with shuttling to your gates because that means that the security is gate dependent.
Specific.
You know, so like
Yeah,
it's not everyone queuing for one security line, which makes security much easier and it actually helps cut down on the backlog.
Yeah, Tampa. I can think of Tampa being nice. I can think of. I like Vegas. I fly out of this third terminal in Vegas, so it's not the janky Spirit and Southwest one.
Yeah,
I've
Vegas
been flying-
Southwest is way too crowded.
Yeah, although I have been flying Southwest more this year because of my new travel plans of my life. But the Vegas Terminal 3 is really nice, really easy. I can get through it, no problem. Shuttle to the gates after security, though. But yeah, just honestly, any airport that you don't have to shuttle to a rental car is my hero.
In Indy, I like Indy. It's not my favorite, but I like Indy.
Yep.
I like Detroit.
Indy's good, except no clear at Indy. The clear security
It's
stuff.
still pre-check though, and the security lines they split them up halfway to the gates, so there's options. For me, the one I like flying through the most is Salt Lake City. It's quite large, so it's a bit of a walk to get to places, but it's so clean and nice in there. A lot of options, and
It is far though. It's a long walk.
it is. But
Yeah.
it's still like a really nice updated airport, so I like it.
This is a really lame bucket list item of me, but I'm nearing the end, so my list is quite empty now. I really want to go to Singapore Airport. I always see it on these travel Instagrams. It's got the massive waterfall in the middle of the airport, the greenery, nature section. There's a cinema. There's gyms. It's my life. Honestly, if I die and I've not gone to Singapore Airport, then just know that I have no interest in going to Singapore. Zilch. Just the airport.
All right, I'll mark that down. I'm not taking Lewis to Singapore. Got it.
But the airport, yes. Just leave me alone.
This one could be a bit of a flop, but Lewis, if you had to compare your own career move from GPs to USA with any rider in the past crossing the pond, which rider are you and why?
No,
Scott
Tom
Sheik.
Vial. I'm a
Scott
two-time
Sheik.
champion. No, I'd have to think about that.
Could you be... Vial would
Who
be
would
a
be-
good one, I guess.
Because it's either success or
Searle.
flop, isn't it?
Tommy Searle.
But I don't like these because all of these result in them going home.
Yeah. Yep. And that's coming.
Marv?
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
coming.
Marv?
No, because that's too successful. I need someone that basically came here, sat in the middle of the road, and just plodded along.
Yeah, Tommy Searle.
Okay? He listens to
Outside
this
of
from time to
Max
time. So.
Anstey?
Outside of that Hangtown one.
Yep.
Which your Hangtown would be when your friend Hunter just sent you that text. That would be your Hangtown.
Here we go. Would it not be when my friend Chase just blew up Feld in the middle of an interview?
No.
That was also... Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was great. You're just a monkey holding a microphone, as you
It's just a
often
monkey
have
holding a
said.
microphone.
If you had to pick a non-moto oriented career, what would it be and why?
Okay, Steve can go first. This is actually interesting. Steve?
Yeah, just lead singer of a rock band.
Okay.
Yep. Easy.
All right.
Yes, that is a job you pick. I think you can actually go down to the job center and request that.
Wasn't it just any job? What was the question?
It was just a non-moto oriented career.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. Boom.
Okay, then I'd be a... Well, I was going to say motocross rider, but that wouldn't count, would it?
Mhm.
I'd be an NBA player.
Yeah, I'd be a baseball player. So
I've got the height.
just similar sports.
Baseball player though, Kellen, too long of a season, man. God, you're gone for forever.
Yeah, but then you make a crap ton of money and
But you
retire
don't?
mostly pretty
You
healthy.
don't?
If
Kellen?
you're a decent baseball player, you make millions.
Okay.
And you don't, unlike the NFL,
But for
you don't
7
walk
years,
away.
you grind it out with minimum salary for 7 years.
I
or
get
whatever.
it, but if unlike the NFL, when you walk away, you don't have
Yeah.
a
No.
laundry list of problems for the
No,
rest of your
you're right
life.
about that. No, it's definitely better than hockey. If you're going to be a pro athlete, it's probably best to be baseball for the reasons Kellen just said. Because NBA also you got 3 games in 5 nights and you're traveling. You're one like MLB guys. They post up for 4 days at like the nicest
Yeah.
hotels. Yeah.
And I feel like people always say golf, but I feel like golf careers is just like forever. Like you just are a professional golf player from 17 to 58 or something
yeah,
like
but
that.
you can walk
golf.
away too. Yeah, you can walk
Yeah, I want
away.
to do
You
golf.
can, but
Yeah.
not many do.
Right.
I'll be an F1 driver now. That seems like a cool way to live now.
All right, cool, man.
Kellen, what the hell is going on with the F1 season? Like,
Oh, here we go.
honestly, like this is so lame that the Mercedes are so much better now. Like they went from, top 5 guys, top 5 car, and it was kind of competitive, but like still the Red Bull cars were good. These rules, Kellen, these guys are unstoppable. They're going to win every single race. This is gay. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens with every reg change, though. They always say,
I
like,
know,
oh, we're going to
but-
do a reg change and everyone's going to be closer together. And the reality is one team hits
Is there a chance, though, with some modifications that these teams catch up?
Oh yeah, I mean we're as with every rig change cycle, we're like 3 years away from 3 teams being in the
I meant like
championship
this
fight.
season. Like, can these guys make up ground, this much ground, this season?
The reason I don't believe in that is because if it was McLaren or Red Bull close, I would be like, yeah, maybe, but it's Ferrari, and Ferrari always falls flat on their face after like the 4th or 5th round of the season. So
this is so dumb. These guys have screwed this up so badly. One of the reasons I don't like F1 is because of the technology of the cars, but at least before they were semi-close, and there was, say, 6 of them, 3 teams that could conceivably win.
Yeah.
Now it seems like, dude, forget it.
I mean, I just hate that, like, and everyone's saying, oh, overtakes, and there's so many overtakes, and it's great, but I hate that this whole thing is based on battery regeneration on a main straightaway. Like, you have to let off the throttle to have better overtake ability from corner exit down the straightaway. Like, that's so dumb. So
it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Whatever.
I mean, ultimately, the last couple of years were the exception, not the rule, weren't they? Because this is what F1 has always been for 90% of the time. Like, one team or 2 teams absolutely dominating and well clear of the field. I don't understand it, to be honest. I don't understand the whole battery thing.
I don't really get it either. Kellen was trying to describe it to me, but I don't really get it. On the Airbnb, the replies are they just didn't want to go. They changed their mind. Nothing happened significant.
Yeah, then they have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Like, it's too close. Like, if they had said that months in advance, I get it, but
okay.
I don't know. Do one more, maybe? One more of these.
My doorbell rang.
Dating life update if you want to give that.
My doorbell rang. I don't know why.
Well, you were just telling us how you're obsessed with your Ring camera and looking at who goes to your door, so find out.
Yeah, good idea. My phone was on do not disturb because I was concentrating on this stupid podcast.
That's committed. I appreciate that effort.
It's USPS just dropping something off. Yeah.
This is riveting. Lewis, dating life update. They want to know anything?
There is no update.
Oh, okay, great. How about how many hobbies is too many hobbies? Like, before you're doing too much.
Not to expose myself.
What's a hobby though?
Like, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, here we go.
Like, is me cycling a hobby? I look at that as exercise.
So, yeah, because as much as it is exercise, but like you could exercise in the gym, but you choose to cycle. So it's a specific workout.
I think it becomes more of a hobby if you're obsessing over cycling and like, oh, this frame and these pedals, and oh, if I buy this for my bike, I'm going to be 0.2 faster, and this, I think that's when it teeters over into a hobby.
Insert Homer in the bushes then for me. But
so wait,
I look at that as exercise. Like, everybody should exercise. It makes you feel better. It helps your mental state of mind. Even if you're like skinny, it doesn't matter. Exercise is great.
So then what would you say are your hobbies, Steve?
Well, like building a ship in a bottle. Collecting toy trains.
Your hobbies, not.
Oh, I thought you just meant what are hobbies in general. I don't have one then. I don't have any hobbies.
No hobbies at all.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no hobbies.
I can't do it.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, Kellen's got his family. That doesn't count,
He
Kellen.
would so list his family as a hobby. He would so do that. I wish we'd say,
a hobby?
I don't have time for hobbies. I'm busy with my family. My family that I love.
I admit I have hobbies. I do.
Come on in. Off you go.
Well, obviously gaming.
No, that's how
that's
you make
a career.
That doesn't count.
No, it's because I do other games than just moto games, and that's my career is the moto game stuff. But I do more than that.
Barely legal. Next.
Barely legal. I like hiking. I like going on bike rides that are not like workout bike rides. I'm talking about like getting from point A to point B by riding a bike.
My brother gets into hobbies. This is my brother my entire life. My brother gets into a hobby and he is just balls out for this hobby. So collecting hockey cards, setting up movie theaters in his house, like with speakers and DVD players and everything else. Bicycling. I got him an e-bike, so he's been doing that. And he goes all in for like a year, and then he's on to something else. He's a very intense hobby guy. But then he's on to something else, and you're like, "Hey man, what happened to the hockey cards?" He's like, whatever. I'm over that. It's just one of those people.
Yeah, I almost wish I could be that way. Like I want to be that way. I just can't make myself care. Like, apart from work and motocross, I can't make myself care about anything. I just don't care. Like,
but would you guys both not agree that like being interested as a fan in a sports team is also kind of a hobby? Like you want to watch their games, so it's a repeated thing. You're like, I want to know updates about the team. I want to know this. I want to know that.
Yeah. No, you're right, because you're following it, you're reading about it, you're watching it, right? It's a
Right.
hobby to, yeah, okay.
And then
Fair enough.
similarly, like if you like binge watching a TV show, you like watching the new series of it, kind of the same thing.
that's
Sure.
loose. That's not a hobby. No, TV shows are not a hobby. Come on. That's like, at that point, you're counting, I made eggs for breakfast. Well, you cooked. That's your hobby.
But the people that build ships in bottles, like, how is that even a hobby or even interesting? That's the dumbest thing ever. You got the long needle nose pliers and you're putting the little captain on the top of the mast. Like, dude,
Yeah, but I'm low-key
I
jealous
didn't know
of
this
those
is the hill
people.
you died on.
It's weird.
you're low-key jealous?
Yeah. Like, I want to be able to care about stuff like that. I just don't. Like, I
Why
don't.
don't you try doing new stuff, Lou?
I've tried, Kellen. There's nothing out there.
Like? What
Well,
have you
no,
tried?
I've tried to think about it.
He has gamed. He's gamed. I've heard him just have discussions with you about video games. So
games.
he
I would
No,
say that
loosely.
Lewis is a loose hobby gamer.
No,
Like,
not anymore.
he-
Not anymore. Used to be. Not anymore.
Okay.
Me
You
too.
tried going to a basketball game, so you're trying.
Yeah, I
to
enjoyed
be a
that,
bit
but
more
I don't care.
adventurous.
Like, I enjoyed that in the moment, but like, yeah, I just can't make. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've tried. Like, I just can't do it.
I guess I curse it all the time, but one of my hobbies is building project bikes, even though I just mother F it consistently when I do it. But now I'm working on this 86 and I just finished, well, maybe 2 years ago I finished. I built like 4 or 5 project bikes in say 5 or 6 years. And they take a long time. They're casual, but I'll go out to the garage and monkey around for 30 minutes to an hour and fix the rear brake one day, or I'll bleed the front brake, or you know what I mean? I'll slowly build this project bike. So I guess you could say I do these project bikes, but yeah.
Well, this doesn't quite answer the question, and Lewis doesn't have a hobby, I guess. But
Sad.
for you, Steve, if you're really into the project bike things, or then you get really into following the Raiders or something like that, like as he asked, how much is too much? Like, can you do both at the same time, or do you only want to be vested into project bike for like a week?
Yeah, I don't think people realize, like, and I'm not trying to like make us out to be like heroes, but I don't think people realize how much work what we do for a living is, how much time it is. It's a lot. It's real busy, and when you add the traveling to the races, apparently, which I'm not doing now, it's a lot. So there's not a lot of time left over. I don't have a family, but I got a wife and a Doug, the foster cat.
Okay, so then here's another point then. Like, I guess it wouldn't be considered a hobby, but you and Pookie do like going to shows. Would that not be constituting a hobby? Like, you like going to live music together?
Oh, I went to 2 Sammy Hagar shows last week with my back jacked up, but it didn't matter. The music pulled me through.
And you were like giddy about it. You had a signed record.
Signed album. Yeah.
Exactly. So
And I'm going to 2 this week too. He's here Wednesday, Saturday.
I would consider that all a hobby, in my
I
opinion.
think hobby is different to entertainment. I would consider that entertainment.
Yeah, I don't. Kind of
All
on the
right,
fence.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you where my issue is with this, and why I can't build project bikes and stuff. I always ask, like, what's the point? And that's when I lose it, because I can't come up with a justification. So
Lou, you need though, and Kellen has his dumb family and his dumb video games, and I got my stuff. Lou, you need to do something. You seriously do.
Yeah.
I do. That's what I'm saying.
What?
But I can't. I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, right.
So this was a conversation over the
something.
weekend, funnily enough.
Right.
And I diagnosed myself. Ready? So I started doing MX Vice when I was in school, high school still. So from school to like this job, I never had like the free time. There was never like a period where I was like doing stuff. So all I've ever known is basically this job. So like I think I missed an important, crucial part of life where I was like chilling and like, oh, I'm going to do this for a laugh and I'm going to do this.
But
I think I missed the
instead-
chapter.
Instead of watching the UK Nationals that you were texting Phil and I about, maybe you can just grab the Cherry Coke chick and go do something.
Yeah, I struggle with
catch
that.
Catch up on the UK races afterwards with highlights.
I admit that. Ben was racing, so I wanted to it's quite a big deal to me. Ben's racing, so I wanted to
just
see how
watch
that
Ben
went.
racing later after you do your hobby.
Yeah, but I had this conversation because it was a complaint with Cherry Coke, and I'm like, I don't know why. Because if I can force myself to the point of doing something, then I'm like, that was good. But I struggle to reason with it beforehand. If you said, let's go to a show, for instance, NBA. I was really not going to go. The only reason I went to the NBA game was because it was in Orlando and that was on the way to Daytona. So it was literally convenience for me. If it wasn't convenient, I wouldn't have gone, but I did enjoy it.
What about this, Lou? I guess you could consider it like not really a hobby, but you love reviewing or talking about things and you love writing. So why don't you get into the hobby of reviewing stuff, like reviewing foods or reviewing or places or whatever?
Shrimp cocktails.
I missed
exactly.
Biggest regret of my life. I so should have fucking done that when I was doing GPs. Countries. I should have
You can do it now, man. You travel more than 90% of people on this planet.
Hey everyone, I'm in Alabama.
Yeah. Why
Cheesecake
not?
Factory's good.
Why not, dude?
No, it is a very big problem. I'm glad we've this is kind of like a what's the word?
Intervention.
That's the word. Intervention. I was going to call it a confrontation, which seems a bit too aggressive.
Intervention.
But it is true.
Hey, Lewis,
it
come on
is
in. Grab a seat here.
Issue. You know, we had Finding Stu. We could have Finding Lou hobbies. The hobbies doesn't really work in the title, but we can figure it out. It could be a YouTube series where I just go and try activities.
I think as a response to this, everyone should go to @LewisPhillips71 on Twitter, and his most recent tweet about asking questions for the show. It should just be flooded with people offering hobbies that they like to do.
Also,
you're English, so why don't you try archery?
Okay, that's I have missed archery since I
Robin
left. Yeah, I didn't know Robin Hood was English. My final point on this, which I've forgotten now.
Oh, great.
What was I going to say? No, I'm very black and white in my way I see things. So I like to complete something before I move on to something else. Like, I'm never going to cross over TV series. I'm never watching two series at once. I'm watching one and then I'm watching the other. Can't cross-contaminate. So I think, getting really deep here, once I feel like I've completed something with this job, and you two know way too much about this, then I think my mind will be like, what else can I do? But I think I'm too locked in on figuring this shit out first and foremost. And that is my TED Talk.
I guess maybe you were a little bit less like that in Europe, but you were also quite locked in.
No, I was the same. No, because I was always like, because it was always, always the same. And it was to my detriment sometimes.
I think it's as part of this intervention, what we've learned is Big Lou is too career-oriented. You need to wake up and smell the flowers out there.
It goes back to what I said at the beginning. I went directly from school into like, hey, you've got to make this MX Vice thing work. So I missed the life part. Should have taken a gap year. Maybe I should take a gap year.
There you go. Go explore. Be like your old buddy Bulmer and get in a van and go to all the nationals.
I think that would just be kind of doing what I'm doing now with a different mode of transport.
but it would be seeing the country, driving
I've
across
seen enough of the country.
like Steve did in his box van days. He probably has great tales of all the cows he saw in the pasture.
This is something I don't appreciate enough or recognize enough. When you think of the amount of countries and now states I've been to, I've lived in 3 countries as well. Like, when you think about that I think that constitutes as some sort of hobby life experience thing. I don't know.
Yeah, you're traveling. You love traveling, or maybe you don't, but you.
No, I love traveling.
Okay, so there you go. Your hobby could be traveling, man.
Because it's work. That's work. I'm traveling for work.
But you like going to places and experiencing new things. That's a hobby.
No, that's the point, Kellen. I don't. I like going to the places with a reason to go. Why are you going to Alabama? The Supercross. Why don't you go to Alabama on a different weekend of the year? Why would I do that?
I don't know, man.
No one knows.
This is a great intervention. The LVK More Than Moto segment of intervention part of the podcast.
My hobby is chase.
Your hobby is chase, and he's back this weekend. Chase. Do you feel complete because he's back?
Honestly, busy weekend for me. Chase, Max, GPs,
Harif.
Can we talk about the question that said Chipotle, Qdoba, or Moe's?
I've only ever
loved pretty much Chipotle. Chipotle clears all those.
Moe's is so good and so much better than Chipotle. Love Moe's. Shout out Moe's. I think
I've never
they're
gone
only in the
to
southeast now.
Moe's.
Yeah. Moe's is good.
No.
It's been a while for me.
Chipotle's gone
And
downhill,
I don't. Qdoba sucks to me. I don't like it. So.
Qdoba is just Chipotle, right?
Yeah, but like lesser quality.
I heard
like-
there's this new place out that's quite good. That's basically Chipotle, but with like Mediterranean food. Don't know what it's called. I forget.
Kava? I think it's called Kava.
Yes,
People love it. Yes, people
Yeah, I've
love
heard
Kava.
about this.
I thought Kava sucked, but people love it.
I might try
I haven't
it.
been.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know, man.
I think that's enough, though. I think we've bantered enough on this show, and I don't have anything else to say. Lou, Steve, anything you guys would like to add?
It's been great doing this. And
Good. I'm glad that you feel this way.
I'm happy to all the people that support this show and support the sponsors and support you two idiots. I knew that creating a show with you two would absolutely be the right combination of sass, humor, knowledge, and idiotic rambling, and I think it's worked.
I'm really
Emphasis on the
surprised.
idiotic rambling.
I'm really surprised that Steve managed to stick through this whole show. Like, I really thought once we got into the non-moto bullshit segment, I thought we'd lose him.
No, man,
But-
I'm good. There's no pulp show tonight. I'm hanging out. I'm working on this Racer X story. My back is still sore, and I got to look after Doug, so I'm all good.
So this Racer X story, are they going to be ordered like you are deciding number one, or are they just going to be? Is it just going to be a list in no particular order?
No, I'm deciding the rankings, but I got a feeling DC is way in and completely obliterate my rankings and probably put his own in there. But
Do we
my
have
question-
a teaser? Like, can we get like who's fifth all time?
Yeah, my
for
question
you?
was going to be,
I haven't
where's
got that far
Jet?
yet.
Oh.
I haven't got that far yet. Honestly, dude, so I'm just calculating the top 10-ish. Like, I just 10 guys in my mind that should be the best Honda riders ever. And then, honestly, because we're living in the Jet era, so when you start adding up his wins, you're like, holy shit. Like, just because we're in it, so we don't think about it. But, yeah, man. And honestly, counting SMX titles isn't my jam, but I feel like you have to count them. I don't want to. But what's the difference
Yeah.
between an SMX title and a 6-race 500 series back in the 80s? Not a whole lot. So,
$1 million.
I think-
well, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I think you have to just because it's factually correct. Like,
Yes, exactly.
That's
Although,
simple.
like,
Well, I mean, even to the point that we've had it for 3 years and he still hasn't lost it.
yeah.
It's the only guy that's won the championship on a 450 is crazy to think about. But yeah, Jet's numbers are insane. So when you look at those numbers, does it already rank higher to you than you would have thought you would have put him? Like just
Yeah.
going into this blind?
Yeah,
you'd
just
be like,
because you're always a victim. I don't know if you guys know this, but I tend to look backwards a lot, and
no.
I know. But so when you look back, you're like, oh, that guy was so good, or this was incredible amount of wins in this short period, or whatever. And then you're like, you look at Jet's numbers, and I'm only counting factory Honda, so I'm not counting the Geico Honda days. And obviously, Jet gets a boost because Honda decided to jump back into 250 class, right? Which they weren't forever. So Jet, but they count. They're factory Honda. Because you can see through the list, I've got the list of every rider from 73 to now to have ridden for factory Honda. And oftentimes Honda went in the 125 class, and oftentimes they didn't go in. And so you got to count it. You got to count it all.
All right, here's a good litmus test for where this list might end up going then. Higher than RJ. Jet Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Can we get an update on where Ben Coisy is?
Working on that. We don't count fill-ins.
Oh, okay. Ben Townley?
I'll let you know. Yeah.
All two of his Honda races in his career.
I think Ben did 11 races in 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, but he only did. I think he literally only did 2 nationals on a factory Honda.
Yeah, I was
his whole time there.
Yeah, I think you're counting TLD, right, with Honda? With the 11? Yeah.
No, I
Shit's
think I'm
wild.
counting. I thought he did 11 in 3 years. That's off
I
the
don't
top
think he
of
was on it. I think he was only on Honda for 2
I think I
years,
have
factory.
I have him for 3 for Honda. Okay, I could be wrong. I still got to do some
Well, he
research,
was on
but- Yeah.
TLD by 10, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
started in 08 at factory Honda.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so there you
Yeah,
go.
I'm
I'm
not counting
invested
TLD.
in this now.
All right.
well,
Well, listen,
look for it on Racer X.
thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Really appreciate you guys supporting these two guys. And
Well, I'm just glad
both
that
of
you
you-
could finally make it 95 shows in, Steve.
both of you have bright futures. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Thanks, buddy.
And
We're
so
here
do you,
for
Steve. We have a lot of respect for everything you've done, and we know the best is yet to come, and you are an inspiration. And when I envision what I want life to be, all I see is you.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as you get through this back injury that you're dealing with, the sky's the limit, man. You could do so much.
Honestly, it's understandable that he has a back injury because he's been carrying the American moto media on his back for so long. It's a miracle
love
it
this.
didn't happen sooner.
This is great.
If only they had an award that they could give out for that type of...
Well, my next path is GNCC announcing.
We'll see you there, man. We'll see you there. All right. Birmingham coming up this weekend. Can't wait to see what happens in the showdown. Chase Sexton back. Many others also will be on the gate as well. And we look forward to seeing them this weekend. Thanks again to Leatt, Partzilla, Alpinestars for back in the show. Thanks to Steve and Lewis for joining me. And we'll see you guys next week to recap Birmingham.